Hello everyone, my name is Droogie Forever, and today we're going to just talk about the Silent Hill news that's making the rounds, and what my opinion is on a new Silent Hill game, and of course the Silent Hill 2 remake rumors. Yeah, we're just going to talk about this because I have played a lot of new games over the last couple weeks. Nothing stood out, nothing that I wanted to put on the channel. So for the first time since the channel has existed, I've gone like 4 days without a video. Um, I've played just some real garbage. So we need some content. So let's talk about something I actually like, Silent Hill. Um, the rumors about Bloober Team, of course, are devastating for me because I'm not a fan. I don't like them. More specifically, I don't like their writing. The writer at Bloober Team always, in every game except Observer, I think, has this attitude of like, people with mental illnesses are bad. And then the medium had a weird message where like not only was the person with the mental illness bad, but like they kind of sympathized with Nazis, they kind of sympathized with pedophile, they and then basically the end message on one of the endings was basically kill yourself because you're going to end up abusing somebody too, which was like crazy to me that people didn't see that in the medium. You'll notice my series on the channel for the medium only made it a couple videos because I didn't upload the rest because I thought it was astonishingly bad. It was so bad. Layers of Fear is the same thing. Person with mental illness is bad. Layers of Fear 2, same thing. Blair Witch, same thing. That was PTSD. The Medium, same thing. Observer was a little different. But for the most part, the person that's doing the writing over there at Bloober Team is horrible. And I don't ever want them anywhere near Silent Hill. But that being said, I need to start being more optimistic because I want Silent Hill to come back. Obviously, I'm a massive fan, and my whole channel started because of Silent Hill. I did Silent Hill 2 speedruns exclusively for like my first 10 plus videos, and I have had a lot of Silent Hill content over the years. It's my favorite series. Silent Hill 2 is my favorite game of all time. Silent Hill Downpour is my second favorite, which everybody kind of hates that about me, but I love Downpour. Downpour is in my top 10 favorite games of all time. It's not top 5, but it is in my top 10. It's like number 7 or something. And then Silent Hill 3 is my third favorite. So I do like the games pretty standard from everybody else, except Downpour is really high on my list and it's really low on everybody else's. But I do like 2 and 3 and 1. I like 4. I hate it as a speed run, but as a regular game, it's pretty creative. I don't like the repeated sections. And I don't like the first person sections, but I thought the enemy design was probably the best in the series. Twin Victims is probably my favorite enemy in the entire series. I even like Book of Memories. Look, I like the arcade game. I like the mobile games. Okay, so even Homecoming, which is my least favorite game in the series, I can find some things to like about. I do hate the HD collection, but you can always play the originals, so that's not a big deal. So out of the entire series, play novel, arcade games, Book of Memories, other than the pachinko machine, the only thing I really don't like that much is Homecoming, and I still play it and still can appreciate things about it. It just feels like fan fiction, which is why I don't like it. But I need to be more optimistic about this new Silent Hill because even though I'm super depressed that Bloober Team is working on it, Masahiro Ito might be working on it, Akira Yamaoka might be doing the music, and even though I hated the medium, I love the soundtrack. Akira Yamaoka did a great job with it. I bought the limited edition vinyl of that soundtrack even though I didn't like the game because I loved his music. I love Akira Yamaoka. He's like my favorite video game musician, period. Hands down, like it's not even close. There's nobody even a close second. Maybe Gustavo Santolini or whatever from The Last of Us. But he's only done like 2 soundtracks that I liked, whereas Yamaoka's done like fucking 10, including Shadows of the Dam, not just all the Silent Hill stuff. So he's amazing. If he's on board and Ito's on board, I need to start being positive. So anyway, here's some of the news. As you can see, Jeff Grubb, of course, has confirmed this stuff. So we've got multiple reports, okay, that there are anywhere from 1 to 4 Silent Hill games in development. I'm leaning more towards the 1 to 2. I imagine the fourth one everybody says is in limbo. I would imagine at least 2 of those are probably not going to see the light of day. But I do believe 1 to 2 are in development, and I do believe Bloober Team is making at least one. I don't know who could possibly be making the other, but I'm praying it's somebody at Sony and that Jim Ryan actually stays the fuck out of it because I hate him, and that Herman Hull stays out of it and just lets the studio do what they want. I'm hoping it's somebody like Blue Point's doing a remake. Everybody's saying Bloober Team's doing the Silent Hill 2 remake. I think that's a horrible choice, but it would be the best case scenario probably. But maybe give them a new one. Let them do a new entry because, I'm not huge on Bloober Team, so maybe don't let them touch an old one. If 2 is being remade, Blue Point is my hope. If a new one is being made, honestly, my hope would be like Red Candle Games, Tango Gameworks, who made The Evil Within, Boki Studio, which is Toyama's new studio. He did Silent Hill 1. Somebody like that, or even Capcom. Capcom might be able to do it because of Resident Evil 7 and 8 I love. And they've remade 2 very well. 3 was a huge miss for me, but I love remake of 2 and I love 7 and 8. I think Capcom might be able to handle Silent Hill now. They might be able to pull it off. The symbolism is... So the 2 things I'm most worried about with any new Silent Hill or remakes of any kind is, first of all, if you remake 2, the voice acting was like integral. I know it sounds like they're unprofessional, but do you remember what happened when they tried to bring in professionals to do HD collection? It's fucking garbage. I mean, Troy Baker was horrible. Absolutely horrible as James. I mean, it's bad. It's really bad. Way worse than the original voice acting. The original voice acting gives it an uncanny valley feeling because these people didn't know what they were doing. And it gives you kind of an odd feel. And that game has an odd feel the whole way through. It has really weird camera angles. It has very strange things going on. And then the voice acting added to it and the stilted dialogue kind of made it all gel together really well. That game works on so many levels. I love Silent Hill 2 so much. I could talk about it forever. But changing it is going to alter that, And it's not like Resident Evil 2 where, like, you can remake Resident Evil 2 and the voice acting didn't really play a huge part. I was upset that Alison Court wasn't recast as Claire, but once the remake came out, it's actually not that bad. But in Silent Hill, the voice acting was, like, integral for me. It was, like, one of my favorite parts of the game because it's just so odd. And the whole game is so odd, and it just goes together so well. It's going to be so hard to do that with professional voice actors. That's why it didn't work in the HD collection. So the only company I really trust to do a great remake, and you could argue maybe not after Demon Souls, is Blue Point. But if we're talking about a new entry, there are a couple studios, like I said, Red Candle, Tango, Boki, maybe Capcom. Somebody like that could probably handle it. But I don't trust Bloober Team. But I need to get back on the side of optimism because what I'm missing in all this is I'm a huge fan of Downpour. And people hate Downpour. I'm a massive, massive fan of it. I've started documenting my Silent Hill collection. I'm at like 325 items or so in my collection right now. And Downpour a lot of that collection is dedicated to the Downpour. Like, I have the promotional notebook that was handed out at E3. I have the strategy guide. I have the soundtrack. I have all the comic books, including the one that has all the comic books in it. But I have all the individual issues, all the variant covers. I have the 360 promotional version, which is not for resale. I have the PS3 promo version, not for resale. I have the Japanese PS3 version. I have the German 360 version. Like, I have so many versions of Downpour. I'm a huge fan. Huge fan. And everyone hated that game. So what I need to do anytime I think about Bloober Team working on this is I need to just realize I love a game that not a lot of people liked. I need to be more positive about this and just go with it. Now, the leaked images, which I don't think are in these articles that I've brought up, but we'll check real quick. The leaked images, yeah, I don't see the images here. The leaked images are, how do I want to put this? Very Bloober Team-esque. The leaked images are very Bloober Team-esque. The one with the girl with the paper coming out of her face, that is very much a Bloober Team image. The one with the hallway and the post-it notes, even though Masahiro Ito signed it, that also is in Bloober Team's style. The only two that weren't in Bloober Team style were the two Resident Evil 7 style images of the dirty house. So that's why I think those images may have come from different games, to where the dirty house 2 images were from one game and the other images were from whatever Bloober Team's working on, which I'm still not 100% convinced is a Silent Hill game, but it's most likely since they're working with Konami. So I think that it's time to be positive about this. I don't like Bloober Team. I don't like their writer. But if they replace their writer, it could be great. I might love it. I mean, there were things I liked about some of Bloober Team's games, and they do at least look okay. I don't think they look AAA quality. None of them do. But they have a certain look to them that's like, okay, it's not bad in any way, shape, or form. And I could definitely see the only problem, they've never done combat before, and their writer is terrible. And they're not great at puzzles either. So those things, and then, you know, the voice acting. So I don't know how this is all going to work out. But I just wanted to talk with you about it for a minute, because as negative as I've been on Twitter about this whole thing, I think it's time to just get on board and just be happy that Silent Hill is coming back. And once we play it, then we can pass judgment, you know. Until then, I think maybe we need to just be like, cool, Silent Hill might be coming back. Let's see what happens. Because, you know, it's been 9 years since Downpour at this point. I want Silent Hill to come back. I do. And I think, you know, part of the thing that's hard to get over is how good PT was. And that's the hurdle that's been so hard for a lot of us fans to get over. PT was so good, and we were so depressed that it went away, that anything that's not up to that standard is depressing. Like, it's just like what we could have had was so good, or we think it was so good, and then what we're getting is so fucking depressing and disappointing that it's depressing us. But I think it might be time to just go with the flow and just see what happens. I don't want them to remake Silent Hill 2. Definitely not Bloober, but I don't know. It does arguably give them the best chance for success. I think the one that needs the remake is Silent Hill 1. I think we can all agree on that. It's PlayStation 1. I mean, it's ancient at this point. And I've gone back and played it, and it's one of my least favorite ones, not because I don't like the story or anything, but because it's janky as fuck to play that one. God, those fucking creeper things that keep, the kids that keep grabbing you in the school, they're so fucking annoying, man. Trying to do a speed run, they grab me every time I go by, and it's very hard to move around. The game is very, I don't know, controls very weird, and I don't know, I think a new coat of paint on Silent Hill 1 would be great, but it looks like they're not going in that direction. But anyway, I just wanted to put my thoughts out there to mainly to get a video on the channel, but to also explain some things to you guys about what was going on with the videos and how I feel about the Silent Hill rumors. And again, if Ito's on board and Yamaoka's on board, I think I need to change my whole attitude here. So I, for one, will be looking forward to a new Silent Hill, and I hope you are too. That's going to do it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, tell that like button you want to smash, and don't forget to subscribe. You stay you, I'll stay me. Droogie forever. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video. Later.